Hello and welcome to Views on News. I am Jawad Tehami. Pakistan's Foreign Office spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan says, let me quote, "We want to further improve economic ties with the United States of America," unquote. Now, this comes after Gentry Beach, a close aide of President Donald Trump, held a meeting with Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif and also held a media interaction. He made some very important statements. Let me quote a couple of them. The United States administration has nothing but respect for the incumbent leadership of Pakistan, led by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. President Trump believes in economic diplomacy, and the ongoing visit was part of that effort. We plan on investing billions of dollars in Pakistan across a number of different areas. There were great investment opportunities in Pakistan. We view Pakistan as one of the biggest global opportunities, which is very unique. The United States and Pakistan shared the same vision for peace and prosperity, unquote. Also, during interaction with Mr. Beach, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif reaffirmed the government's unwavering commitment on facilitating the foreign investors by ensuring conducive business environment, streamlined processes, and robust institutional support. The Prime Minister underscored Pakistan's unique appeal as a global investment destination as well. The Prime Minister also highlighted Pakistan's strategic geographical location, as well as youthful workforce and rapidly expanding consumer market. We are going to discuss as to what does this particular term economic diplomacy and what's the importance when it comes to the bilateral relationship between Pakistan and the US is concerned, how historically the trade volume between the two countries had been, and what is the potential and the scope of it. We are going to take the discussion in that particular direction. For that, we are honored to have been joined in the studio by Mr. Abdul Jaleel, senior economist. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. On Skype at the same time, we are honored to have been joined by Dr. Jamil Khan, former ambassador. Dr. Khan, thank you very much for your time also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. On Skype at the same time, we are honored to have been joined also by Mr. Shikoh Atif, senior economist. Mr. Shikoh Atif, thank you very much for your time also for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, if you allow me, let me begin the discussion with Dr. Jamil Khan. Dr. Ambassador Jamil Khan, let's take a quicker glimpse of how this particular visit by one of the close aides of President Donald Trump is going to add to the entire scheme of bilateral relationship between Pakistan and the US, especially under the new administration of President Donald Trump.
No, I would underscore that Donald Trump is a businessman, so he has a very good team of businessmen. Mr. Beach is also one of the top business persons in the United States who has a checkered record of equity market, real estate, mine, mineral, commodities, and basically he started his career from Morgan Stanley and has headed all important financial institutions. So he knows and he understands how to really create and generate funds for the projects which he is thinking. He also, and most of people of his profile, they realize, they understand that how the drift towards global East is taking place in terms of economy. And I think this also paves the way for the strategic relations. Any economic diplomacy would always pave the way for the good bilateral relations also. So I stepped in the right direction. The kind of engagement which Mr. Beach has, along with his team, had here in Pakistan is a testimony that the group wants to really make an investment. Group realizes that what's the pivotal significance of Pakistan is. The group led by Mr. Beach realizes that investment here is worthwhile, and also in view of the way economic trajectory is improving and the future prospects of it in terms of SCO countries, in terms of other Asian countries, and Pakistan by itself. So once he was discussing with the Prime Minister, he did mention, in fact, there were some wrong conceptions in Pakistan that there were certain leaders in the United States that they had passed some remarks which were undiplomatic.
Clarification regarding that also, Dr. Khan, I'll come back to you. Let me bring in Mr. Shikoh Atif into the discussion also. Mr. Atif, when we talk about the history of the bilateral economic relationship between the United States of America as well as Pakistan, how this particular relationship fared in last several decades?
So obviously this is the biggest economic power the world has ever seen. That is the United States, and that's a reality. Our relationship has been up and down, as you know. But the amazing thing with Donald Trump, and I've had the privilege of meeting with him when I was working in New York, he puts aside small skirmishes for an economic vision, and that's what's going on this time around as well. And he's not a warmonger, so he's not pushed Pakistan towards any sort of. It'd be a very strong diplomatic and development-related focus. His team has actually already identified 2 areas to sort of.
Mr. Atif, I'm really curious to understand your view, but unfortunately there is a little bit of distortion. We'll try to reconnect with you and I'll come back to you for your take regarding this very particular thing as to how we can see this particular bilateral relationship that is fared in the past between Pakistan and the United States of America. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, what's your understanding how this relationship actually fared? What were the cornerstone of that particular relationship when we talk about the United States of America being the largest export destination of Pakistani products? And in the last 2 years, particularly when we talk about 2023 and 24, in both the years we saw this particular bilateral trade volume continuously expanding.
Pakistan has got a history of economic collaboration with United States of America, and that is quite good and well recorded. We know very well that in our area advantage, which is especially agriculture area and in food security, United States of America in previous decades, especially during the 60s and 70s and 80s, they made a huge contribution in its development. And a new variety of the wheat has been introduced in Pakistan. Also in development of our farm vegetable and fruit farms industry have also, regained a lot of upward steps because of technical contribution, both financial and technical contribution by United States of America. So there is and then the heavy industry heavy industrial sector have also been receiving a lot of support both in field of finances and technical as well. So there is a good background which is available. I think once again we should try to explore those avenue of the mutual collaboration, especially in those areas in which we have got the advantage and where we need a desperate help to develop them. For example, one energy sector. Energy sector, in idle sector, in idle energy, idle source is the biggest source in Pakistan available for production of electricity. Mangla and Tarbila Dam, it did receive a lot of support from the International Donor Agency. Now, I think this is an area in which we should negotiate a deal with them, with the United States of America once again. Firstly, and secondly, the agriculture and food security domain is again, it's very important. And the world recognizes that Pakistan agricultural system is quite sound and it has got a great potential for its development, And now I think we must negotiate with the Western country, with the European country, as well as with United States of America, which can provide us assistance for the modernization of the agriculture infrastructure in our country. What we need today is the warehousing facilities, the high production of the availability of the high production seed qualities. Then we have seen genetically modified, another experiment, genetically modified agriculture system has been introduced. In this respect, I would like to say that there is a lot of potential in Pakistan and to carry out a research work with the help of the Center of Excellence of United States of America. especially in agriculture development. Agriculture University of Faisalabad has got a history of good relationship with pursuing research work with the help of the Western institutions. And I think we need to,
Okay, Mr.
we need
Jaleel, the first point that you mentioned
renew
was energy. And Pakistan has the largest source in form of hydel energy, right? So I just want to understand your view regarding as to the importance of this largest source of energy Pakistan holds. We also know for a fact during that particular media interaction, Mr. Beach talked about key sectors where the United States of America is actually interested in investing. So one of those areas happens to be energy. So when you specifically highlight hydel energy, what does that exactly mean? What should we understand? How the collaboration on that particular front? Do we understand that Pakistan needs to export on that front?
Hydel source, we have to. Pakistan has got a. I mean, our mountainous area, northern area, carries a great potential for producing electricity through idle sources as well. We have a lot of steam and there are outlets everywhere and there. You know, then this area receives a lot of rain during monsoon area, but we do not have a conservation facilities as well. The United States of America is contributing, especially the California state is contributing a massive energy out of its major sources, and its major sources lie in wind energy and solar energy. They are the major sources. And likewise, Pakistan, these are the hydel, solar, and wind energy. These are the three areas in which Pakistan carries a lot of natural advantages which are available. And I think we can develop these a major source of energy with the help of the United States technical investment, both, and financial investment. And we should negotiate, we should negotiate in this field for a closer collaboration. US has now, the technology has become quite effective, and this modern energy technology is very effective as well, and it has developed a very sophisticated tool of utilizing, of converting the resources of the nature into energy product.
Right. Let me bring in Mr. Shikoh. Atif is joined once again. There was already a little bit of distortion. Mr. Shikoh Atif, now the key areas which have been highlighted by Mr. Beach include minerals, real estate, energy, technology, and artificial intelligence. Firstly, I want your take regarding as to this particular visit, the significance of it at a particular time when recently we saw that Pakistan had to deal with challenges on the economic front with a lot of efforts and the endeavors by the incumbent authorities here in Pakistan. The economy overall in the country is on the right track, has already been stabilized, and more efforts are being put in, especially in order to attract the foreign investment. In these circumstances, this close aide of President Donald Trump, one of the new administration's aides, has visited Pakistan, highlighting how Pakistan happens to be a destination, and they consider Pakistan as biggest global opportunities in that regard. How do you look at that overall?
So, first of all, the fact that Pakistan was able to stabilize its currency, and that was done with the purchase of the dollars, which is something that IMF really sort of supports Pakistan in doing as well. And so my kudos to the economic team in Pakistan for that strategy in stabilizing our currency. None of this business would take place if our currency was not stable. So well done for that. A really important impact of this visit and our relationship improving with the US is in our negotiations with the IMF. Because remember, it's not on the surface, but behind the scenes, IMF is heavily influenced by the United States. In the middle of February, when the IMF visits for the next tranche, and that would have a real impact on that. To go back to your point about the investments, uh, the luxury real estate area, one area that they have demarcated, just the area sort of, we talk a lot about Pakistan being in tremendous debt and stuff like that. Where you are sitting right now, the area in Islamabad, just the vacant lands owned by the government and just private sector, just arid land around Islamabad. If we were to use just that usefully, we can pay off all of Pakistan's debts forever. So they are very smart to see these opportunities. They are savvy business people. As far as energy is concerned, the first day that Donald Trump took his presidency, he said, I am sad that even before my taking office, I was expecting the Saudis and OPEC to lower the price of oil. And he used this mantra, drill, baby, drill. So his strategy very much is to lower the energy prices all across the globe. And Pakistan must be ready to benefit from the energy prices all across the world going down. And the second thing that he said was, I want interest rates to go down all across the world as well. So Pakistan can also benefit from. I know the government has done a wonderful job, and State Bank has done a wonderful job of the monetary policy and interest rates being controlled. But they can go further down with this regime right now.
Right, Dr. Ambassador Khan, when we talk about this particular term, economic diplomacy, and Mr. Beach is of the view that President Donald Trump believes in economic diplomacy, and this particular ongoing visit of him was also part of that effort. This particular term we have also seen recently that was used by Pakistan's ambassador to the United States of America, and that where he said that our emphasis is focused on that particular front. Could you shed a little bit of light regarding as to the importance of economic diplomacy that could further add impetus to this particular bilateral relationship?
Well, if economic diplomacy now in around the world has become one of the prime um, uh, the features of the diplomacy, and that is how the countries enter into the bilateral, multilateral trade and investment, and try and have maximum optimize maximum opportunities in terms of bilateral economic prosperity and growth. Obviously, every country would like to see its interest. If Donald Trump wants to lower down the prices of energy, he wants to be a global champion in terms of improving his a the goods and services, what they want to produce in industrialization, lowering the employment, and likewise, Pakistan has this one major impeding factor in terms of its growth, in terms of industrialization, in terms of its export, because this single factor, um, major factor, I would say, is impeding the competitiveness of Pakistan with countries like Vietnam, Bangladesh, and some other countries. So once the energy prices are lowered down, the inflation around the world would also be corresponding to that, would lower down. That's one. And Pakistan, countries like Pakistan, that would definitely benefit for two reasons. One, that it's pivotal in its geographical location. Two, that it has all the resources in its territory, which needs to be exploited. The mine and minerals. There are only few companies around the world, the major companies, who are experts in it. We have to collaborate. And Mr. Beach, he is one of the persons who has been collaborating with energy generation, with AI, with mine and minerals, and then he has shown his special interest in the real estate. And we do also understand that Donald Trump main business, I would say, has been the real estate, and he has been mentioning about his interest in the real estate in various parts of the world, including Middle East. Very recently, also is mentioned. So, economic diplomacy, once it has been made as a prime factor by the President of the United States, which obviously is quite powerful country, economic engine. driving the entire financial system of the world. So it makes all the difference for a country like Pakistan. And Pakistan, by the way, is the biggest, US is the biggest destination of our export. And then, of course, EU also. So we have to focus in the changing environment. Once there are so many changes Donald Trump is bringing and has brought in terms of levying tariff, in terms of other restrictions. So Pakistan countries like Pakistan have to find what is the best advantage and what could be those goods and services which could immediately and for which we have the capacity and competence to produce. And if we identify focus, we can really improve and augment our export. By the way, we have already improved about zero point 0.6. That's about 600 million in just last about 4 to 5 months time. So we are going in a right trajectory, but within the resources, within the limitations. But once these limitations are overcome, obviously it can be enhanced. And with a delegation like the one which just visited us, that definitely makes a lot of difference. And by the way, I have underlined one point, and that is everything had then boiled down to SIFC as a one single window operation, which was the main complaint, which was the main problem of the investors. So once the big investors like Mr. Beach brought here, once they find that there is an environment which is more congenial, and in an economic diplomacy, the countries, they try to approach the regulatory authorities of the other country and ensure that there is an environment. There is an environment of investment. There is an environment of win-win game. So such delegations, they also open the new vistas for the other investors. And by the way, again, United States investors, United States investing companies, in United States interest in any part of the world, it attracts the investors from many other companies. So that is one part. And second part is one thing we have seen even in the past regimes, the previous regimes, when the Soviet Union problem was the issue, fresh issue, and at that time as well, the Treasury Department was given a little indication, and we found that the investors came in Pakistan. So in tandem, the economic diplomacy with our bilateral relations, it definitely makes so much of difference to really improve our economy. So bottom line is that yes, we understand that export component is not that, the volume is not that high. We understand the reasons, and if we are able to address those reasons with the help of what new vistas are now we are witnessing, I think we can really take a good start for raising our trajectory towards double and triple. We have all those potentials. And as I said,
Ambassador Dr. Khan, there is a related point which has been also mentioned by Mr. Beach, who said there are, when specifically talk about Pakistan, there were great investment opportunities in Pakistan with an amazing base of intelligent people, which he said remained overlooked in the past in diverse fields. I'll take your view regarding that as to the importance, the critical importance of the youthful workforce, which has also been mentioned by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, when we talk about one of those sectors which have been highlighted by Mr. Beach is real estate. What's the importance when it comes to enhancing the relationship on that particular front between the US and Pakistan? And let me quote him also. He says that from a real estate perspective, we brought our real estate development partners, and I'm going to build some of the most high-end and luxury properties ever seen in Pakistan.
You know, the modern society depends upon a lot upon the smart, procedures and the smart technology of construction industry. Construction industry plays key role in the development of the infrastructure of a society, both the housing infrastructure and communication infrastructure. Space, the population is increasing, space is getting lesser and lesser, and now we have to adopt a very strategic approach towards our construction activity. Number one, and secondly, construction industry technology itself has become very sophisticated. Effective tools have been made and they are available in the market. Unfortunately, we are not making use of them, which can reduce the time of the construction as well. And they are really performing a miracle in developed country as well. I mean, within a very short span of a time, they can raise big building as well. Unfortunately, now Pakistan is facing a serious shortage in the housing sector as well. Even communication sector, we need to further broaden it, and we have to increase it. So in this respect, I would say that there is a lot of potential in Pakistan for seeking collaboration in field of construction industry and real estate. But behind out of all important, as you were talking about the intelligence, for example, you said there is a lot of intelligence.
Intelligent workforce?
Intelligent workforce is available in Pakistan. Pakistan is one of those countries which has got, whose youth population is constituted by the 67% of the total population. And this is, and if we go by the statistic, we will find that every year we are producing millions of graduates and postgraduates in field of pure sciences, applied sciences, industrial engineering, and also in management. But unfortunately, our space is limited to accommodate them all. This is the area in which we have to work, and I think that with United States of America, this is a golden opportunity if we seek collaboration with Center of Excellence in order to promote R&D in our society. For example, we have to improve our public financial instrument and public financial governance system. Similarly, corporate financial instrument and corporate financial governance system in this respect. And that is now with the rise of information technology, this area we have experienced revolutionary changes, but we are still far behind. And I think this is an area in which we should seek a closer collaboration with the Center of Excellence of United States of America.
And he has also mentioned one of the key areas, artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. The future belongs to artificial intelligence, and there is and it is something which is inevitable, whether you like it or not. Most of the industry is going to be run by the tools of artificial intelligence. And those people will remain in the job market who are really highly qualified, and they are performing job which artificial intelligence tool cannot not perform that. So you can see what kind of
does that call for a drastic change as far as the educational curricula is concerned?
Yes, we will.
Because with the population continues to rise, and then there is demand for artificial intelligence and information technology, as you already have mentioned, the shift in the global industry landscape also on that particular front. So does that actually call to inculcate new skill set through new curricula in the education institutions? Does that call a drastic overhaul in that regard?
This it is very, very important, but we should try to understand and interpret the rigorous challenges which are coming ahead. And we will have to treat, this artificial intelligence culture is going to a revolution is going to take over every society. So we cannot, escape ourselves from this revolution. But it will cause a lot of joblessness in the society. So what we have to do is right now that we should adopt a policy in which every house is treated as an economic unit and made self-sufficient through cottage industry, through upskilling the member of its family, so that they should be able to earn their livelihood through the, by developing their own resources as well. The real problem is the resources are available in the country. Manpower is available in the country, but there is a disconnect between the manpower and the resource.
Right.
So we have to upskill people in order to develop a close relationship with these two variables.
Right. Mr. Shikoh, Atif, your understanding regarding as to the population continues to rise, but there is more of demand of information technology, the skills associated with that particular area of the subject or area of study. We've also seen in this particular interaction, Mr. Beach has highlighted as to where Pakistan and the US could collaborate. One of those areas is artificial intelligence. Now, there is also a fear that with more of the demand of artificial intelligence and information technology, and with rising population at the same time, there could be more joblessness. So when we talk of addressing this particular fear or a threat that might be looming, how Pakistan and the US can collaborate on this particular front in order to inculcate new skill set when we specifically talk of the youthful workforce?
Sure. So I've done some research on artificial intelligence, and a lot of it is all it does is it enhances certain processes, makes them more efficient. So the idea that robots are going to take the jobs of people, that's if that's not complete fiction, that's about 50, 60 years from now. So we don't, although we need to build the infrastructure for that generation to build up artificial intelligence products for that time, that's not an immediate problem. Our immediate problem, as you rightly pointed out, is this youth bulge that we have and to put them to work productively. To that end, like I mean, yes, the US coming in and building that in or helping us build that infrastructure that they can, just like line, just like internet was the fiber for that was laid, and now Pakistan is exporting a lot in information technology. Someone did that work that this work is based upon. So we also need to set those foundations that the youth can do the work on. But the most important thing that we can do right now is to align the academic institutions with the financial institutions in Pakistan and start a lending program where we start creating entrepreneurs. Because right now, all the students that we are graduating from our institutions are absolutely like, well, 60, 70% of them are not finding employment. So we have to prepare an academic graduate base that goes towards entrepreneurship, and the banks can play a role in financing it. State Bank of Pakistan has been doing a very good job of marshalling the bank and necessitating them to lend money to various sectors in Pakistan. But the one sector that they have ignored is the educational sector. And they need to have a direct bridge from the money banks to our students and to empower them to go in and build the future of Pakistan.
Right, Ambassador Dr. Khan. Now, Mr. Shikoh, Atif is of the view it's important to connect economic institutions with the financial institutions in order to tap the very potential this youthful workforce holds. What's your understanding regarding that? How the collaboration on that particular front between the US and Pakistan can be enhanced?
Well, that's the asset which not only US but so many other countries of the world can utilize. Now the youth, the talent, the skills, these are the assets. Now there is hardly any scientist required to make our youth skillful. The 120 million youth we have, China, the population is receding. Entire Europe, the population is receding. So many Japan, so many other countries, population is receding. So Pakistan has this one very big advantage. And Pakistan has one of the best and the biggest penetration of the internet. So that means people already have smartphones in their hand. People already have the access to the laptop, access to the computer. So these are two things required for our youth. I've seen certain institutions here in Pakistan and in Sindh and in Punjab that the youth are being given that skill of digital marketing, the how to really do the trade through the internet and through this artificial intelligence. It's just matter of acquiring the required skill. One doesn't need to really become such a great software engineer to become the artificial engineer. Depends various level of people. Now 36.7% of penetration of internet for a country like Pakistan is sufficient to produce a couple of million youth every year who could be utilized for our integration in the economic prosperity, integration in industry, integration in marketing, integration in trade, integration in commerce. So I think we are very close to that, and there are efforts already being done. It's just a matter of having those investors, those investments pouring in, so that we are able to align. Not necessarily that we should wait for the for all these opportunities to come and knock our door. We should already visualize, anticipate, envisage that how best we can align the changing dynamics of the world. And those are, as I said, only need it needs what it needs is a smartphone in your hand. So therefore, we what we need two things. There have to be two prong action. One, that we wait for the investors to come and they should give their requirement, and then we start our training our talents. That would take some time. Two, that we know the needs and requirements of the world, and then once we know the needs and requirements of the world, we should start motivating, start bringing in that curriculum in our schools and colleges. We don't have to really award them the wait for the PhD degrees and the master's degree and bachelor's degrees. Yes, those are very small segments we need for that software engineers and creating those sophisticated tools of the artificial intelligence. But as a tool for the marketing, for the commodities, for the commerce, for the trade, I think it doesn't really require that much of it. So we do have that talent. And then human resource by itself, we can not only utilize them and integrate them for the potentials investors, maybe from US, maybe from China, maybe from any other country. So, and by the way, we all know that where China stands today in terms of their daily wages, and we know what is our daily wages, a competitive market. Any investor coming in, where that investor would need, whether it's a trade, commerce, real estate, or mine and mineral, anything for that matter, it would require human resource. And human resource is quite viable in Pakistan in terms of daily wages. Our daily wages, we know it, 37,000 is the baseline daily wages as compared to about $3,000 in China, so or some other countries. So in that respect, it becomes quite feasible for any investors. And not only that, as I said, that we can export the human resource. There's a huge demand of people who have some skill sets in the IT. Not necessarily that they should become the software engineers, only basic skills where they can just develop some small softwares, or are able to do some trade and commerce through the tools using these applications which are available already. So these 65, 67 million people, as my friend Mr. Jaleel has just mentioned, 120 million, I think we can very conveniently equip them, empower them, make them skillful on these lines. And I've seen that government has started making some efforts last couple of years, and now they only need to augment it from the standpoint that Pakistan is now coming under spotlight in terms of its investment, in terms of its pivotal position because of its geographical location and because of its geopolitical location. So and then because there are certain competition between big powers around, so Pakistan is definitely in the spotlight, and people would like to have some economic.
Ambassador Dr. Khan, I get your point. The Pakistan is coming into the spotlight in terms of the investment opportunities over here and the business environment as well as the geographic location. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, Prime Minister during this particular interaction with Mr. Beach has also highlighted that Pakistan has that conducive business environment. It is because of the efforts we have seen the incumbent government has been putting in, and then also the establishment of a Special Investment Facilitation Council. How crucial that particular area is?
I think so the Prime Minister have rightly hinted at, but there is one big challenge which is coming in form of the future high tech, and that is the number one, artificial intelligence, and secondly, You have to green technology. Pakistan, and you know, because of the climatic changes, Pakistan is suffering a lot. There is a internally displaced persons phenomena has already been set in. Every year we see a lot of rain, you know, during monsoon, which brings about a dislocation of the huge number of the people and also bring about a lot of devastation. I mean, climatic changes is a fact of a life. In this respect, we must try to muster the support of the international body as well.
I get your point.
Number one.
Unfortunately, we're short of time.
Then
The
green
thing is-
technology is very important because now the green technology have been accepted, whether somebody likes it or not. President Trump have got some, you know, objection against him. He has got his own view with respect to climatic change, but still, I mean, according to Paris Agreement, the day is not very far when the country would be categorized that who is following or who is complying with the green technology requirement.
Well, President Trump has withdrawn from Paris Climate Agreement. So let's specifically talk about the conducive business environment. There are already efforts being done.
This is one
Done on the part of the government here in
Yes.
Pakistan. What else needs to be done in order to make this particular environment more conducive, business friendly?
You know, if you are asking an area, I would like to say the electric car has already been introduced, number one. Driverless vehicles, number two. This is again a technology. Again, you know, this is all a work of artificial intelligence. We are all using artificial intelligence. The most important sector that I would like to say is an R&D, that our universities, our center of excellence should take some step to develop a closer collaboration with the Center of Excellence of United States of America. And we have to develop R&D in field of pure sciences and applied sciences as well. This is very important area, you know, R&D. And I will say that in the United States of America, universities there, they have got a lot of potential and they seek partner in this respect as well.
Right. Let me go towards Mr. Shikoh. Mr. Shikoh, I think your quick closing comments regarding as to when Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif talks of streamlined processes here in Pakistan, how critical is this particular area in order to attract the foreign direct investment, and particularly in the case of the US?
The biggest question that the US has from Pakistan and other investors do, as well as the business continuity management from one regime to another government. What if so SIFC steps in to provide that continuity for any businesses, any organizations looking to do business in Pakistan? What they offer to a foreign investor is you don't have to worry about your physical safety. You don't have to worry about our international responsibilities. We are not an irresponsible nation, and we will provide you with that one window operation for that. Now, President Shehbaz Sharif has done an excellent job of providing personal initiative as far as the information technology, and a small initiative that he has had such an amazing impact in Pakistan was his distribution of those laptops. Now we get all blurred out to like imagining things and but just
Mr. Shikoh, a very important point you've made. I'll have to go to Dr. Khan. Dr. Khan, your quick closing comment as to institutional support for having a conducive business environment.
Well, basic impediment in any country which investors find is the regulators. Now, through the SIFC, the regulators have streamlined it. That is one window system, and that automatically assures the continuity and consistency of any investor's money in terms of the policy, in terms of the regulatory mechanism. So that becomes that gives them the.
It's going to lead to a boost in investor sentiment and confidence, whoever is aspiring to or looking towards Pakistan to invest over here. Dr. Jamil Khan from Ambassador joining us on Skype. Thank you very much for taking time out for Views on News tonight. Really appreciate that. Mr. Shikoh Atif, senior economist, joining us on Skype as well. Thank you very much for your time also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Mr. Abdul Jaleel, senior economist, joining us in the studio. Thank you very much for your time also for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.